looking to the public. You know, this is as much about public outcry and organizing and mobilizing and applying pressure so that this GOP-led Senate and that these governors that continue to carry water for this administration, putting the American peoples in harm's way, turning a deaf ear to the needs of our families and our communities, hold them accountable.
Well,
make the phone call, send the email, show up. You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives. And unfortunately, there's plenty to go around.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Senator Rand Paul and his wife and many others being attacked outside of the White House by Black Lives Matter so-called protesters. But we know they're not really protesters. They're rioters, they're insurrectionists, and they're general agents of chaos. Now, $1 million question. Hey, ABL, why were they being attacked? I'm glad that you asked. President Trump delivered an epic speech last night at the White House to conclude the RNC in front of 2,000 attendees. Now, I've been to the White House twice. No flex, as the cool kids say, no flex. But I've been there twice. And I know that as you're leaving the White House gates, there are certain little choke points that may get dangerous if there's no law enforcement to make sure everything is straight. No security to make sure that people are able to get from point A to point B safely. And that's what happened last night. Anybody that was leaving the RNC, if you're white especially, they were getting harassed and confronted and bullied and shouted on and attacked. Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see Rand Paul and his wife get attacked, harassed, and bullied by the mob outside the White House. And then you'll also hear what they were saying. That's pretty important. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what was said and done in the video. Then I give you my 2 cents, my deep detailed analysis, and then I wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
What's up, bro? I got you.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, this is really ridiculous. Elephant in the room, from my point of view, is what they were saying, talking about say her name, Breonna Taylor. Do they not understand that Rand Paul is on their side when it comes to Breonna Taylor? Okay, he's a senator out there in Kentucky, yes, but he authored the Breonna Taylor law, which was designed to end no-knock raids. And I don't even agree with that. He's a conservative. He's a Republican, libertarian, but a Republican in Kentucky who wrote a law literally for the person that you are screeching about. Okay, you're trying to attack him and his wife for what? You should be like, thank you, we appreciate it because you're helping us. They're talking about, oh, we're protesting because our voices aren't really heard. Nobody really hears our cries. Okay, you're crying literally about a thing that this man is working on. So why are you attacking him? It doesn't make any sense at all. But then again, it does. I saw Rand Paul today on Fox and Friends. I think that was the show earlier today on Fox News. And he was talking about the incident. And one thing that he said is that this could be an organized thing that's paid for. And I think we all know about that. We all know that could be the case. People are getting paid to come in there and just harass. This was obviously planned. The so-called protest, really the riot, it was already planned because they knew that there's going to be people at the White House watching Trump speak. They knew that it'd be at the end of the RNC. They knew it was going to be an important time. They knew Rand Paul might be there and other guys and girls that are in office. They knew that would happen, so they were already right there. They had everything planned and organized. It's pretty simple. A lot of them are saying the same things, doing the same things. This is not a spontaneous just thing by happenstance. Nah, this is planned, this is organized, And with any kind of planning and organization comes money, it comes resources. You ain't going to just, start something and not be able to conclude it with the proper funding if you're out there in DC. This has been going on for a very long time. So I think what he was saying about it being planned and organized just kind of makes sense. And I don't even agree with the whole ending the no-knock raid thing, because really the no-knock raids can be more safe than if you knock, because you got to think about all the situations that may happen. What if you got a guy in there abusing kids? He got a 12-year-old in his basement tied up. What you gonna do? Knocking? Say, hey, come on in. Don't hurt a little boy or girl in the basement. Nah, you're gonna bust in and get the little girl and run out. That's a no-knock warrant. And also, you got to go through a judge and everything else. You can't just get that just for no reason. You got to be able to show that there's really evidence for a no-knock raid. And Breonna Taylor, if you don't know, she was killed by police in Kentucky. They're talking about, oh, she was an EMT. She didn't do nothing. It was a no-knock raid. She was in the bed sleeping. Meanwhile, she was knee deep, elbow deep, waist deep in the dope game. Okay. Yeah, she was an EMT at one particular point in time, but she wasn't when she got shot. Different story. I digress. My whole point is that they're out there screeching about a thing that he's actually trying to work with them to solve. That's not even the issue that the right champions as far as in the no-knock raids and whatnot. All right. So it doesn't make any sense, but then again, it does. These people are not peaceful. I mean, I think we understand that now. They're not peaceful and they're racist. One thing I noticed is that nobody black that was at the RNC got attacked or harassed or bullied. It was pretty much all white. Matter of fact, I didn't see anybody that was not white get attacked. Some would say, oh, they didn't get attacked, ABL. They just got confronted with their lies. Well, I saw plenty of old guys on the ground. Why? Why am I seeing guys on the ground? Why am I seeing Rand Paul get almost knocked over? Why am I seeing some of the bike cops getting, punched in their head, laser shine in their eyes? People were getting attacked out there. Now, I'm not sure what could have been done as far as the security is concerned, because that was really lacking. Like I was saying, I've been in the White House. There's certain little choke points we know about. Like if I was able to identify certain choke points, surely anybody else could, especially the DC police. They're out there every day. They know what it is. And you got 2,000 attendees. You got this mob people outside. Needs to be some kind of protocol to get them from point A to point B safely, or to at least disperse the crowd. Okay, if I was a king and I could rule by fiat, I would have had tear gas, rubber bullets, all that good stuff, just to make sure that everybody was safe. Because, all right, you may disagree with my political point of view. That's totally fine. I got no problem with that. But when you start to attack me and my wife and the kids and everything else, we got a problem. Now we got a serious problem. This is why you need to be able to protect yourself and arm yourself if possible. Now, you can't do that, obviously, leaving the White House or in D.C. in general, but you're seeing these mobs all over the country, and you need to protect yourself from these mobs. They're going to people's houses now. Like, they're going to actual houses trying to break into houses with mobs of people. You have the return of the lynch mob. Oh, it's an officer's house. He's a pig. Let's go get him. No, you just can't do that. And I think Rand Paul was a victim of that. And you know what? If there's any support for Black Lives Matter, that's shrinking. I saw a poll that said that the 25% support for Black Lives Matter in Wisconsin has dropped to 0. So it may have been at 25% support. Now it's at 0. And when you have less BLM support, you're going to have more Trump voting. I was listening to C-SPAN, and everybody that was calling in, for the most part, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm not anymore. I'm voting Trump. The violence in the streets is too much. The Democrats want it to keep going on. The Democratic mayor, governor, everybody else, they don't want to accept Trump's help, and we need it. Like look at Minneapolis right now. They just had a situation where the guy who shot himself in the head on camera, right? And people rioted after that talking about the police did it. It's like it was on camera, like broad daylight. There were witnesses. He killed himself with a gun, shot himself in the head, blew his brains out. So why are you rioting because of that? People are tired of BLM. People are tired of the narrative. They don't want to hear it anymore. I know I don't want to hear it anymore. So as I close, I want to say this. Rand Paul actually is the worst guy to attack. If you want to be a mouth-breathing BLM moron, at least go after guys that have different points of view than you. You're right there talking about Breonna Taylor, say her name. Meanwhile, he has a whole law that he wrote called the Breonna Taylor Law to not have that happen again. So what do you want him to do? And he's also an ophthalmologist who goes on missions to different countries that are impoverished, like Haiti and Guatemala, to perform free eye surgeries. And by the way, Donald Trump sponsored some of those trips years ago before he became the president, but we just totally ignore that. We totally ignore everything. And I think it's because there's a financial incentive going on. People are getting paid to come out here and do this. It was the same thing in 2016, all right? And then as soon as the budget dried up, you didn't see any more BLM protests. Now, all of a sudden, we're in 2020, another election year. They started right back up, okay? I feel like the coffers have been refreshed. They know that they want to go out here and create pandemonium and chaos in the cities to scare you into voting for the Democratic Party or into not voting at all. This is voter intimidation. This is terrorism on a large scale. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Rand Paul deserved to be harassed and bullied along with his wife and everybody else? And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. Or did he not deserve that? Anybody that was out there doing a thing like that should get locked up. Gitmo, Bit Rocks, Little Rocks. And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. You pretty much know where I stand. These idiots are ridiculous. They don't even know what they're doing. They're attacking Rand Paul for what? He's pretty much on their side. And you know what? The crazy part is he may be on their side right now as far as no not raids and trying to work with BLM. But after this, after he gets attacked and his wife and everybody else, you might just say, you know what? All right, how about I just say, forget it. How about I just support no not raids now? Happy? You could have made some kind of headway, but now you can't. And it's your fault. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.